Sena was the smallest architect in the colony. Her head was round, her mandibles delicate, and her ideas, according to the elders, were too strange to take seriously. While others stacked pebbles and dug neat tunnels, Sena etched spirals in the dirt and dreamed of bridges made from leaf veins and thread. The ant colony buzzed beneath a warm garden stone in Ghana, shaded by the green sweep of a guava tree. Their home was precise symmetrical chambers, tidy food tunnels, straight paths carved over generations. The elders took pride in its balance. Sena took comfort in its hum but longed to add her own beat to the rhythm. Each evening, Sena sat near the edge of the nursery chamber and sketched in soft soil. Her latest design, a bridge with curved steps, using overlapping leaves and anchored sand knots, was strange even to her sister. "Maker, it's not how we've built before," Mecca said gently. Sena only smiled. "I don't want it to be." On the day the rains came, the colony was preparing for a food migration. Pebble Bridge, the main path across the soft dirt riverbed, had been inspected and approved by every elder. Stable, strong, tradition tested, they declared. Sena wasn't convinced. The pebbles shifted under her feet even when dry. That night, the skies cracked open and rain thundered down. The garden flooded. The dirt path dissolved, and by morning, Pebble Bridge had collapsed into a sink of mud and scattered stones. Half the colony was stranded across the divide, including foragers and guards. The tunnels flooded next. Sena ran to the meeting chamber, her antennae twitching. The elders were already gathered. Panic crackled between their words. "We must rebuild the bridge," said Elder Da. "Well, lay new pebbles." But the ground was too soft. Every pebble they placed sank into the mud within minutes. "We need something that floats and bends," Sena said, stepping forward. She unrolled her leaf scroll. "Muddy and worn. My bridge plan spirals of overlapping leaves. The water runs through, not under. The curves hold weight." The chamber fell silent. Then Elder Banner snorted. "We don't build with curves." Another muttered. "No time for experiments." Sena's face burned, but she held her scroll tight. "You can try the old way, but I'll try mine. If I finish first, we use mine." Without waiting for permission, she sprinted to the edge of the divide. A few younger ants followed Mecca, 2 tunnel runners, and the pollen loader who liked to hum. They started gathering leaf scraps, dandelion fluff, bits of bark, and grass filaments. Sena began her spiral at the water's edge, stacking thin leaves in crescent arcs, lacing them together with beetle thread, and anchoring each layer with sand pouches. The bridge didn't stretch straight. It curled like a fern, each loop supporting the next. The ground squished and shifted beneath them, but the spiral held. The threads absorbed shock. The leaves swayed and bounced but didn't break. And the curve, a shape the elders avoided, spread the weight evenly as more ants climbed. By dusk, the traditional pebble pile had failed twice. Sena's spiral had reached the center of the divide. On the other side, stranded ants stood watching, amazed. One brave scout crawled across. "He made it." A cheer rose from both sides. Mecca laughed out loud. "Your sketch wasn't strange. It was smart. Even Elder Dar shuffled forward, blinking. You remembered root anchor techniques from the old rain seasons. Sena nodded, breathless. I read the old walls. And I listened to the ground. The colony worked through the night to finish the spiral bridge, with Sena guiding. The two halves of the colony reunited by dawn. Tunnels reopened. Food returned. Songs buzzed through the stone once more. A week later, the old pebble pile was cleared. The new bridge remained part of the colony now, spiraled and strong. And under the guava tree, Sena sat sketching again. This time, her sister joined her. Mecca traced shapes in the dirt. What if we built a canopy over the market tunnel? She asked. Sena grinned. Curves or no curves? They both laughed. Word of Sena's bridge spread. Ants from nearby colonies came to see it. They marveled at the curves, the softness, the way the spiral rose and dipped like a song written in earth. They asked to copy the design. Sena said yes so long as they shared their ideas too. She never stopped sketching. And though she still built quietly, each new shape brought more listeners. The elders began setting her scrolls on display. Young ants used her leaf techniques to build water collectors and sand steps. And when the next rains came, the spiral held. Because when the path ahead crumbles, it's not the straight road that saves you. It's the one brave ant who dares to curve. And Sena? She didn't just build a bridge. She changed how a colony sees the ground beneath its feet. And in the heart of the garden, where guava leaves whisper above and the earth remembers every storm, a small spiral still holds strong, curved, clever, and full of courage. The ants walk across it every day. And in the dirt nearby, new architects draw their dreams in spirals too.